and joined the army because it was all we offered them. For war in the end is always about betrayal. Betrayal of the young by the old, of soldiers by politicians, and of idealists by cynics. Read Antigone, when the king imposes his will without listening to those he rules, or Thucydides' history. Read how Athens' expanding empire saw it become a tyrant abroad and then a tyrant at home. How the tyranny the Athenian leadership imposed on others, it finally imposed on itself. This, Thucydides wrote, is what doomed Athenian democracy. Athens destroyed itself. For the instrument of war, the instrument of empire is war, and war is a poison. It is a poison that at times we must ingest, just as a cancer patient must ingest a poison to survive. But if we do not understand the poison of war, if we do not know how deadly that poison is, it can kill us just as surely as the disease.
The end.
We have lost touch with the essence of war. Following our defeat in Vietnam, we became a better nation. We were humbled, even humiliated. We asked questions about ourselves we had not asked before. We were forced to see ourselves as others saw us, and the sight was not always a pretty one. We were forced to confront our own capacity for atrocity, for evil, and in this we understood not only war, but more about ourselves. But that humility is gone. War, we have come to believe, is a spectator sport. The military and the press, and remember in wartime the press is always part of the problem, have turned war into a vast video arcade game. Its very essence, death, is hidden from public view. There was no more candor in the Persian Gulf War, or the war in Afghanistan, or the war with Iraq than there was in Vietnam. But in the age of live feeds and satellite television, the state and the military has perfected the appearance of candor. Because we no longer understand war, we no longer understand that it can all go horribly wrong. We no longer understand that war begins by calling for the annihilation of others, but ends, if we do not know when, to make or maintain peace with self-annihilation. We flirt, given the potency of modern industrial weapons, with our own destruction. The seduction of war is insidious because so much of what we are told about it is true. It does create a feeling of comradeship, which obliterates our alienation and makes us, for perhaps the only time in our life, feel we belong. War allows us to rise above our small stations in life. We find nobility in a cause and feelings of selflessness and even bliss. And at a time of soaring deficits and financial scandals and the very deterioration of our domestic fabric, war is a fine diversion. War, for those who enter into combat, has a dark beauty, filled with the monstrous and the grotesque. The Bible calls it the lust of the eye and warns believers against it. War gives us a distorted sense of self. It gives us meaning. Once in war, the conflict obliterates the past and the future. All is one heady, intoxicating present. You feel every heartbeat in war. Colors are brighter. Your mind races ahead of it. feeling wartime comradeship,